Good day everyone. We are the Group 14, so our topic is all about naturalism. So I am the first reporter. I am Hazel M. Tiabas together with my co-reporter Renaline G. Riston. So what is naturalism? Naturalism is a philosophical viewpoint that emphasizes the natural world and its laws as the basis for understanding reality. It asserts that everything arises from natural causes and process, rejecting supernatural explanations or interventions. Naturalism also often aligns that the methods and findings of science, focusing on observable phenomena and empirical evidence. The term naturalism originated in the 17th century but gained prominence in the 19th and 20th centuries through the works of thinkers like David Hume and John Dewey. Hume's skepticism of supernatural claims and emphasis on empirical observation laid the groundwork for modern naturalism. Dewey further developed naturalist ideas by applying them to education and social reform, advocating for a worldview grounded in science and human experience. Key concepts in naturalism include determinism, empiricism, and the rejection of supernaturalism. Determinism in naturalism suggests that all events, including human actions, are determined by natural cause and condition. A classic example of determinism is the idea that a person's genetic makeup and upbringing that determine their behavior and life outcomes. For instance, if someone born into a family with a history of crime and its expressed violence and poverty, determinism would suggest that their likelihood of ongoing criminal behavior is predetermined by these factors. This perspective implies from the individual's choices and actions are the inevitable results for the genetic and environmental influences. A classic example of empiricism is the discovery of gravity by Isaac Newton. Newton's understanding of gravity was developed through the observation and experimentation. He observed the behavior of objects in the physical world, such as apples falling from the trees and planets observing the sun, and used the empirical evidence to develop the theory of universal gravitation. A classic example of the rejection of supernaturalism is the scientific explanation of lightning. In ancient times, lightning was often attributed to supernatural forces such as the gods. However, with the advancements of scientific knowledge, lightning is now understood to be a natural phenomenon caused by electrical discharges in the atmosphere. These rejections of supernaturalism in favor of scientific explanation demonstrates the power of empirical evidence and rational inquiry in understanding the natural world. Example of naturalism can be seen in various disciplines. In literature, naturalism appears as a genre that portrays life realistically and explores the influence of environment and heredity on human behaviors, such as in the Emile Zola's Germinal. In science, naturalism drives the study phenomena through observable and testable methods as seen in the evolutionary of biology or astronomy.
Good day everyone, I am a second report. Examples in ethics, naturalism argues that moral values can be derived from human natures and the conditions of life, emphasizing practical and human-centered approaches to morality. The strengths of naturalism include its reliance on evidence and its compatibility with scientific inquiry. Imagine a society trying to reduce crime. A naturalist approach might analyze social, psychological, and biological factors like poverty or brain chemistry to understand criminal behavior, rather than attributing it to inherent evil or divine punishment. Solutions would then focus on education, mental health support, and social reform. Sa strains, by grounding knowledge in observable phenomena, naturalism provides a consistent and testable framework for understanding the world. It also fosters intellectual curiosity and progress by encouraging the explorations of natural causes and mechanisms. In ethics, naturalism offers practical approach to addressing moral questions by focusing on human needs and well-being. And some criticisms of naturalism include its perceived limitations in addressing questions of meaning, purpose, and values. Critics argue that by focusing exclusively on natural processes, naturalism may overlook the subjective and spiritual dimensions of human experiences. Such trends, examples, naturalism promotes solution based on real-world evidence, helping us understand both the physical universe and human behavior through observations and reasons. In ethics, it suggests that what's right often aligns with human flourishing, what helps people live better lives. And sa criticism, however, naturalism might fall short when people seek deeper meaning, such as why life matters, or when graphing with spiritual beliefs that aren't easily tested or observed. Additionally, some philosophers contend that naturalism's reliance on empirical evidence may not adequately account for abstract concepts such as consciousness or mathematical truths. Sa alternatives to natural include idealisms, dualisms, and theisms. Sa idealisms, emphasize the primacy of ideas in the mind in shaping reality, contrasting with naturalism. Focus on the physical world. For example, sa philosopher claims that reality exists only as it is perceived by the mind, like how a dream feels real until we wake up. Sa dualism, posits that reality consists of both material and immaterial components, addressing phenomena like consciousness and spirituality. Examples: scientists believe brain activity explains most behavior but insist that love, free will, or the soul point to something beyond physical matter. Stoicism introduces the belief in a divine being or supernatural forces as central to understanding existence. Like for examples, atheists interprets the complexity of the universe as evidence of intelligence designed by a divine creator. These alternatives provide different perspectives on reality and the human experience. That's all.